Yo, what is going on guys? Brian here, and once again I got eggs, and in this video I will be demonstrating how a nested loop would work with two different data structures. Notice that this will also be doing loop by value because we are not keeping track of the index, meaning we cannot change any one of these eggs to, let's say, X or something like that. So looping by value, remember, we are only going to be looking at it and printing it, but we are not going to be changing it at all. So go ahead and observe the code. As you can see, we have two lists. Our first list is a list of capital letters again, and our second list is a bunch of integers from 1 to 6. Next, we also have two for loops inside of each other. So we have one outer loop and one inner loop that are in charge of printing it. I also will not be having the console or printing thing like on the side to show the output of the code because there's actually going to be a lot, so yeah. To begin, let's first initialize these lists. Boom, boom, they are created. And let's go to our first for loop. Now, notice how I don't have the siren anymore like in my while loop video. Because a for loop in Python, specifically if you're looping through something like a list, it'll automatically know when the end of the list is and it'll stop. No need for a counter and no need to, check while the counter is less than the length of the list. It'll just do it automatically. So, first, we're going to go start at the letters list. So for a character in letters, we're going to want to print characters. So here, I'll grab A, and next, we have a for loop inside of this. So the main difference between having an indent and not having an indent is now that because this is inside of the for loop, this for loop has to wait for this for loop number 2, to finish before it can move on to the next one, and in this case, B. Let me show you an example. So we're going to print out A, and next up, we're going to go to 1, which is our next list right here, and we're going to print out 1. After we're done with that, we're going to go to the next one and print out 2. After that, we're going to go to the next one, print out 3, print out 4, print out 5, and print out 6. Now, when this mini for loop is done iterating through this entire list of integers, it'll now finally put down A and move on to B. It'll now print out B, and next we are back in this for loop. So you see how this is waiting for this entire iteration to finish? That's because of indentation. This is indented inside of this, so he has to wait on this loop to finish. So once again, I print out B, 1 gets printed out, 2 gets printed out, 3 gets printed out, 4, 5, and 6. This mini loop is done for now, so now we can move on with the big loop. We are now on C, and now I'm going to do this a little bit faster. So print out C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is done. Moving on to D, print out D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that's done, we can finally move on to E, print out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Once that's done, print out F, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so now, once this is done, we realize that F was our last element, and we're actually done with the code now. So that's it. The main concept that I want to get to you guys is that this outer loop that's in charge of this list has to wait for this little mini loop inside. That's what indentation matters. Next, I will show you what happens when they are not indented. So we're going to keep the same list, but instead, notice how the indentation are now the same. So how this code would run is a lot simpler and easier to, understand. So, make the list, boom, boom, the lists have been created. For a character in letters, print character. That is the only thing that is indented in this loop, so it'll act like this. Print out A, print out B, print out C, print out D, print out E, and print out F. This for loop is now done. We are no longer going to touch this list. Next for loop, we're going to go for num in ints. We're going to print out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Notice how this code has a lot less printing than this one. This one was only ran for, let's say, like, there's 6 elements. It only prints 12 times because that's how many elements we have. Whereas this one, every time this guy gets printed, 6 of these guys get printed. So that's honestly a lot of printing, and that's why I didn't have any line paper. So my question to you is, how many print statements happen in this line of code? Go ahead and try and solve that on your own. I'm not going to provide you with the answer because I'm lazy. You can count how many times I printed, I guess. But yeah, just know a lot more print statements happen here than here. So indentation does matter. Next, I will show you what this behaves like in code so you can actually see the actual output. And yeah, good luck with your exam. Alright guys, so as you can see, we are back in Python and I will be running this code. As you can see, a lot of print statements will happen when this is indented. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, as you can see, every time a letter is printed, it is followed by the entire list of ints. So A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, D, and so on. But if we get rid of this and we have code where there's no indentation, it's going to be a lot simpler. As you can see, it is simply just A, B, C, D, E, F, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So indentation is very important. I'm sure you guys learned that in the labs. So yeah, if you still don't get it, go ahead and leave me a question. I'll do my best to answer. So yeah, good luck guys. Bye.